Greetings, Commanders! My name is Community Manager Whip. That's right, wail harder, you peasants. I'm here today to do an exclusive interview to introduce to Marvel Strike Force the new T5 Zeta materials. Come on in, Community Manager Cash Grab! Woo!
Woo! Hello, all you thick-looking whales. Who's ready to pay for my next yacht? Hi.
No. Hey. So, I heard over there at Capitol Games, you are driving Ferrari Californias and Lamborghini Huracans. Have you upgraded to the real Ferraris and the real Lamborghinis
Who
yet?
drives a Huracan?
Oh man. You need to get an Aventador, man. The Huracans are they don't even have the real doors. The real doors, yeah.
If they're not going vertical, you send them skirtical. That's what I said. Skirt. Damn it, haters.
Anyways, so real talk. We should just talk about this, right? So, what are you doing? You were never gonna be right? Anyways, so Marvel Strike Force has T4s in this game, and
Indeed.
and you have T4s and we have T4s, right? And what can you say about T4s? That they're pretty much the exact same thing as Omegas, right? In Galaxy of Heroes. Would you say that's?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like even the crunch when it comes to, I feel like T4s are a little more crunchier than Omegas because you need quite a couple hundred per ability. Where in Galaxy Heroes we have the Omegas, which is more or less the same. It adds a nice little upgrade to an ability, but it's only like 5 or 10 at most. Where in Strike Force it's a couple hundred, but I think it's time we increase the ante a little bit and start bringing in those T5s. Oh,
okay.
Who needs actual playable content when you got that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we just sell progression. We don't need new content; just sell progression. That's the way of mobile hero collector games. Okay, so I just want to give everybody a backstory. So Galaxy, when did they? We had Omegas, which is equivalent of T4s. In Galaxy of Heroes for how long in the game before they introduced Zetas? When was that? Year 2 of the game?
Zetas
year 3
came
game?
in
year 3?
2017.
So that would have been year 2? Year 2, right? Yeah.
And Omegas came in 2016, I think.
So I've always viewed T4s as the same thing as Omegas, and it feels like they're giving them away more, and they're also becoming more mandatory. Like we just got this guy Silver Samurai, and I just looked over his T4s, and it looks like he's gonna need all of them. Stay away from me, man.
I love it.
So I was in a dev call, and there's always been this plan to bring out T5s, and they actually kind of hinted that maybe it was sooner than later. No timeline. I mean, it could be by the end of the year. It could be in the future. But what did that look like in Galaxy of Heroes with Zetas? How would you explain what a Zeta is? And I know that now they have Zetas on every single ability on Legendaries, but talk more about what Zetas felt like when they came to the game, because that's what we're talking about right now.
Dang, Shorty in the club here. Let's see Shorty with the boots of the fur. The whole club's looking at her. All right, Zetas, getting it to nice and straight. It's basically like a mini rework for a lot of characters out there. Remember Maul? Garbage, trash, useless, just like we saw him at the beginning of the Clone Wars. But man, that Zeta, he turned meta overnight inside of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. So be prepared, be warned. That Ravager Snitcher, watch him. He's that T5's gonna make him OP. I don't know if it's gonna be that extreme, but usually Zetas, I consider them to be mini reworks to a lot of characters. Some characters don't reach their full potential until they get there. Some characters like 20 or even 30% of a character's viability needing Zetas that get him up to the next level. So I think that's the best way to put it, is that they're kind of mini reworks that bring life to a lot of characters that are already good or characters that have never seen the light of day. You're gonna see a lot of fun theory crafting potential here.
Okay, so let's say one of the biggest complaints of the game right now is that legendaries don't feel legendary anymore.
I was thinking about that the other day too.
Yeah. So a legendary characters, an easy way for them to spruce them up is to add a T5 or a Zeta, right?
Yeah.
And so they just throw a Zeta ability. Now, I want people to understand, like in Galaxy of Heroes, these Zetas initially were not purchasable, and you basically got enough materials to apply one to a character, like one every 3 weeks or so. That's the way I remember it. What are you doing there?
Oh, I don't know. He looks kind of nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at this Beskar plated armor right here. I mean, pure silver. I mean,
yeah, though they had to change it. It wasn't always that color.
Almost looks like my pajamas. I dress in the finest silver for my nightly gowns. Anyways, Zetas, actually, it's funny enough. You haven't played Galaxy Heroes now, but they're starting to monetize the living daylights out of now. Originally, they were not for sale, but now over time, they started selling them. And now we see Zetas for sale almost on a weekly basis. At this point, I know it's the Marvel Strikers, but now there's speculation with them increasing the inflow of free-to-play Zetas as well as pay-to-play Zetas. We might be getting something a step above Zetas. That's a complete speculation right now.
But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that, like, right now, I'm getting ready to put all the megas on Silver Samurai, right? But like a Zeta was something that I only got to put on one character maybe once every 3 weeks. It was like very scarce back in the day.
It was very scarce, super scarce. So I don't know. Here at EA, you know, originally the motto was supposed to be EA. It's in the bank. Now they changed it to EA. It's in the game. We took things a little bit further. So Marvel Strikers, I'm not sure if you guys have the audacity to really, you know, increase the ante, make a little bit more cash on them. But if they're going to follow Galaxy of Heroes, Zeta stayed very exclusive for about 3 years minimum. Yeah. And then the Hyper White Bundle came out. That was the first time they started selling Zetas. And then since then, they've been selling Zetas on a pretty frequent basis. So it wasn't pay to play initially, but now it's getting a little bit more pay to play. But even the free to play people at this point, they have tons of Zetas hoarded up and ready to go.
Okay, and so it would be an easy way to rework legendaries. They could throw Zeta on Ebony Maw, saying that he now does something super special, right? And it drastically changes the kit, like makes him a new character almost, right?
Yeah,
like it was a big deal. But you have to like choose wisely. Like there might be a Zeta for Black Bolt and a Zeta for Phoenix, and then you're like, wow, I put this Zeta on.
The game won't be the same.
Yeah,
if
it changes everything.
Like Zetas and Galaxies, the game is never going to be the same at that point. Like moving forward, what you know now, it's going to change fundamentally moving forward. And if they monetize it, it's going to be kind of in a way a monetized rework or touch up to an extent, if they do decide to go down that route.
When they first did this, not every character had a Zeta, right? It was only some characters had Zetas.
It was like 70% of characters got it.
Yes, and it seems to me that there was the legendary characters had 2 or 3, and then they start changing it so that some of them had
6 or 7.
Yeah, right. So I mean, I think what one of the biggest complaints of the game right now is that legendaries feel weak. You know, they just do. This is a way of reworking them. I mean, it does make, and then they're also making like new characters come out where they need, T4s on all of them. Like this character needs probably on every single one of them. And it's not that special anymore. Very rarely do we get a new character where they need like 2 or 1. I mean, I can only think of one.
Save the rest.
Yeah, you save the rest. But now it seems like a lot of them need 3 or 4. But the T5s could be super special. And plus, they've also begun to give away and severely monetize. Like, you know how they do that right before they make it more available to everybody? They kind of give like the last ditch. A lot of fire sales, a lot of deals on things.
Yeah.
They've been selling T4s more readily in the last 2 months than they've ever sold them before.
That's why I'm excited to see if you guys do get T5s, because we're in the same thing right now where the Zetas are on fire sale every other week or so. We're getting new Zetas for sales. Like, oh, this is awfully odd, especially when they were holding back. It might just be maybe because we had Mark Dickwad as our senior producer.
Oof.
And maybe he's famously known for monetizing living daylights out of FIFA. And he was like, why aren't you guys selling more of these? So it could just be them finally cashing in on something they decided not to for many years, or it could be like Strikeforce, where this might be the beginning steps of moving forward. But I gotta say, again, Marvel Strikeforce might not roll out the same way, but Zetas weren't. I don't know. You were here at Zetas. Was it controversial when it first came out? I feel like Zetas was actually kind of welcome.
It was actually at the time. It was actually relatively fair and free to play friendly. Yeah, because it basically was an allocated resource, and you only got like you only got like one. It seems like you could get like a complete Zeta about every 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, and you had to do a lot of stuff to make sure that would happen. But everybody was getting one online every 2 to 3 weeks, and it was like a big debate to what to do first, what to do next, and it was a big deal. It was absolutely a big deal, and it was free. It was relatively free to play friendly, but there was some activities in the Kraken alliances that allowed them to get maybe one extra one.
It was really small. Like you had to have Ewoks or something, and so that's the only thing that you might have to worry. Maybe they won't sell it outright, but imagine Silver Samurai, one of the newer characters. Imagine like a Chaos Theory type of thing, where there's a Chaos Theory event perhaps, and they require something weird and wonky. That might be where they catch you, but luckily in Galaxy Warriors, there wasn't really anything like that.
It could be New Warriors. It could be
New Warriors, yeah.
Because New Warriors, other than, I mean, they made a Secret Avengers worth. Oh my God, you're creeping me out there, man. You know this song? I'm Rich. Hey, hold on a second. I gotta say something. I gotta be real talk with you here for a second. Listen up. I personally wanted to thank you, community manager Cash Grab, and all of the people over there at EAIA I just wanted to thank you for all the work you do over there. You make us look good almost daily, and I wanted to thank you for that.
You know, I feel like it's a mutual relationship. I feel like people like to say, who's got the bigger pile of crap right now? And sometimes it's us, sometimes it's you. So at the end of the day, it's a symbiotic relationship. Some days, you know, we're like, oh, look, Strike Force is crap. We're the better. It's like people like comparing who's got the shiniest turret. It's a beautiful business model for us, my friend.
Yeah, we've got a new saying over here. When we get complaints and we tell the community, we say, it always could be worse.
That's the model of the mobile gaming industry, baby. Like it or leave it.
It could always be worse. All right. I'm calling it now. T5s, Zetas are around the corner. Be ready for them. I think it'll be a good thing for the game. Maybe it'll be a good thing for legendaries. Bye.
Wail harder, you peasants.
Woo!